Hey, good evening. Welcome to the Coffee Talk with the Grandpa and my lovely co-host.
Quinter.
How have you been?
I've been well. How are you?
I'm great. You know what, good people, thank you for supporting us in our Sunday talk shows and also for your amazing replies. Nasema the show sasa imeshika moto. And you know what, after last Sunday when you spoke about gender-based violence, watu wamesema wanataka part B.
Yeah.
They want to know whether in relationships kuna hizi violence, we shall look at maybe how people abuse each other. Because from your explanation that says lazima upigwe mangumi, you know, and how do you to manage themselves. But also through our topic last time, you raised a very sensitive topic, and I thought I was the only one who had noticed, but my guys at home also noticed it. Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Tukienda shule hadi wa leo tunaambiango, who are you? I'm Younib Nganga. I am this. That is self-awareness. But I understand how you're looking at these things different. So today's topic, we are going to be dealing with the matters of self-awareness. Do we know who we really are? And if we do, patamshike inakujia wapi? So Quinter, let me ask you, from your city, explain to us what is self-awareness.
Okay. Self-awareness is the ability to not only know yourself, but to also understand who you are. So be able to examine yourself from the inside, to know your emotions, to know how you deal with things, how you adapt to challenges. That is self-awareness.
And let me ask you, you find like us guys in the media or in the artistry world, there is the Younib Nganga, that's my real name. Then along the way, I created Nash Sage. Then along the way, people started calling me Grandpa. Till now, they put the Grandpa. Then could I say there is a confusion about me, Ama? What is it?
Now that's where the self-awareness comes, because with the three you've mentioned,
Yes.
there is a role you need to play in the three.
Yes.
There is you, Younib Nganga. Now that's the real you.
Yes.
But now when you become Sage Nash, then there is a character people identify to Sage.
Yes.
And same to Grandpa. I think I've known you that way.
Yeah.
And the character that is associated to Grandpa leans on country music. So there is always a role, there is something that identifies to your identity. Yeah.
And let me ask you, when you say, when we say from our city that self-awareness is all about knowing oneself, let's say someone is arguing anything about self-awareness, what are the 3 or 5 things that they need to check? This is what I need to know about myself.
First is who you are. And now this is the first identity. You might have 2 personalities. Now this is where personality comes in. For you, you first need to examine yourself, know yourself from the inside. What am I made of? What can I do to the best of my ability? You meditate, you journal things, and it is that phase that you take to know yourself completely. So with that, the more you take your time to learn and examine yourself, then that's now you are on that journey of self-awareness.
So what I'm hearing you saying is self-awareness makes me know who I am.
Yes.
Why is it important? Because in the current day and age,
it helps you deal with a lot of challenges.
Yes.
Once unajua the person you are, when you are faced with a challenge, utasema this is how I can deal with this.
Yes.
You don't deal with it in a manner that unajua you can't solve it. Because if I have something that, tuseme aje, I am running out of money. tuseme hivyo. But now I am coming in a point that nikijua maybe I am good in tailoring ama I'm good in doing a certain kind of job, hivyo ndo najijua. And even if I'm good in maybe sweeping, I can do that to like the best of my ability. Now that is you knowing what you can do and who
so
you
this is
are.
a factor that you said. I told you you're a good teacher. Because at the first you had said with journals, I was like, why would you like journal? Like for me, a journal crazy things that I think or I fantasize about. Now you're saying, let's say even you don't know yourself, write down.
Yeah, write down.
You say I'm a good in tailor. Then you start looking, are you good in sewing? Are you good in customer service?
Yes.
Those are part of you that, nice. And also let me ask you, is there a time that, you see, like in a family setting, we tend to conflict our self-awareness. Like either mzazi anakuwa too harsh or something.
Now, yes, at times it happens because when in family setups, a lot goes on. You might find me, I've grown up in a family of 5. And now the aspect of a parent, maybe upate ana favor mtu mmoja mwenye maybe anapita, anapenda vile, anafanya vitu. But for me, I am not like, I don't have your personality yenye sibling X ako nayo. So you find that I might want to like nijaribu to do things the way that sibling does things to see if I can also get that favor. So you find yourself how can I put it?
For example, what I'm trying to get, tell me whether I'm thinking right, is I think me and you are totally different characters. You're more silent, I'm more talkative, I'm more outgoing. It's easier for me to make noise than you. So if you come from the same mother and father in a family setup, the way our parents will see, hey, grandpa ni chap chap. Maybe you are not chap chap, but you get your work done. Me, I'm chap chap, but with a lot of mess. So parents should also study their kids in a different way.
Yeah, and like know like how to like relate to them, ndio isifanye moja aanze to feel like I'm a lesser human being. Knowing yourself is very important. Knowing that we have different characters. With you outgoing, very like talkative, stuff like that. But for me, I know myself, I am not as loud, but yes, I talk. Now you see, with that already, I am like self-aware of myself. There are things I can do, that things I can't do, and from that it comes from the point of me examining myself and knowing myself.
So to the parents and teachers wenyewe, in short, what Quinter is trying to say is, for example, she's not talkative. Mwambie Quinter, have grounded you to that corner. That's her happiness, because at the end of the day, that's her comfort. But ukiambia grandpa ende kwa hiyo corner, nitasumbuka akili. Wow. And do you think parents play a role, whether negative or positive, in now making the children realize this potential of self-awareness in them?
Yes, parents play a major role, because when a child is young, it's how a parent will like be there for that child when the child is growing.
Yes.
If the environment is toxic, then it's most likely that the child will inherit like traits that are not good. So upate mtu yeye ako amegrow kwa place yenye it's chaotic, kuna wizi, stuff like that. This kid is most likely to like inherit
that kind of character. I have a question. Donald J. Trump, he's one of the executive orders, he said there are only 2 genders, male and female. Do you think as the world is growing, and I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but maybe you maybe you can help, because of people sometimes you tend not to give the right answers. Do you think the rise of the queer people, the so-called this transgender, uh, do you think it's lack of awareness or it's a movement that is created? Because as we are growing up, we knew I'm a man, I'm a boy. You knew you are a girl. Do you think we relax some of those things from a cultural point of view?
Yes, we did from a cultural point of view, because you find that there are habits I might have when I'm growing up,
Yes.
but it's the parent fails to like identify it.
Yes.
So growing up, I feel attracted to my gender, and without that parental guidance, then I tend to like have it when I grow up, and that's how I identify and get attracted to the same gender.
Okay. And I love you. I love you because you were able to answer these things in a more simpler ways. To the parent who is watching the show, is there anything like a tomboy? Is it a character? Is it lack of awareness? Or is it just an, how do you call it? Kitu ya kujiekelea.
For parents, I think they also contribute to some of these crises, because growing up, now for me, you might find like my parents don't want me to associate with boys. Like they feel very comfortable when they see I'm there with my girlfriends, stuff like that, and they tell me that kwanza kitambo ungepatikana estates with boys, then it will be shida home. So you find a parent like has no fear akikuona with a girl, and is very comfortable, can give you all the space with your girlfriend.
Oh.
But now when it comes to like you interacting with the males, then there is an issue. So if for me, I feel my parent does not want me to relate with a boy, but is so comfortable me being with a lady, then it only means these are the people I'll get to know. These are the people who I'm going to like find joy being around. Growing up, there are stages. Now, when I am in the adolescent stage, you find that maybe I become active, but I am not attracted to people that I even don't relate to. So the only way out is to me being attracted to like fellow girls. So you find when parents are playing the role, mtoto asikaziwe ile sana, ile yenye wewe utaki relate na maboy, give him that space to go to like know dem anafikiria aje, Talia anafikiria aje. And if you believe you have done a good job,
yes,
in your parenting role, then you'll not have anything to worry about.
So as much as we are going to fight these young men and women who are saying we are transgender, we are LJs, I don't know what those disorderly alphabetical order, you're saying the problem starts from the home.
Yes.
And I have a friend who says that he's a man trapped. He's a woman trapped in a man's body. What does it mean?
No, for that it may be the trait he has. For a man, there are things you can't do, like it's known, ladies no one wanazifanya. So you find yourself, you are excited with things that mimi ndo zinafai kuni excite. Things like nails, hair, and you find that in the world we are living in, especially the tradition and the beliefs, you are not allowed to like do those things. So you find yourself, you have to like contain yourself to be a man, yet there are things that you get attracted to, which most of them ni mademu wanafanya.
And what could be that mentally? What could it be? Is it lack of something or what?
Wow, I don't know. Okay. Pia it's believed ukiwanga kwa family. For us, we have one brother surrounded with 4 girls.
Yes.
4 siblings.
Yes.
So growing up, ana a
The
brother
male, character.
a male character mwenye enyewe wanaweza kuwa wanasema vitu zao, wanafanya vitu zao. So we also notice at some point angekuanga girlish, but for us we believed it's because we are more girls na yeye ako peke yake, so unapata anatend pia kupenda vitu tunapenda. But it's not his fault. It's because of the environment he is in.
And this is why we say the role of the uncles will have come into play.
True.
There is a discordant in the family setup. There we find also the culture has gone its own way. Let's go for a break, come back and continue this amazing conversation.
The best. Hallelujah.
Hey, good evening, good people. Welcome back to the Coffee Talk with the Empire and the amazing
Quinter.
Yeah. Today we've been discussing about self-awareness, and we really canvassed a lot. And I was on the verge of saying, where you find like in your setup, now uncles, grandfathers come into handy, and what we call Baba Mdogo, Baba Wakubwa, your dad's brothers come into handy. But also if they are not there, but I believe this is where the uncles come into play. Do you think they've also negated their role in making the society be sensible, you know?
Yeah, I think for Kitambo there it was easy for uncles and relatives to help in upbringing of children, but nowadays they have taken a stand to only concentrate with their own families. You find that you have uncles, but then they never visit. They are concentrating with their own family.
Yeah.
Now you find that if there are things we were to even talk about, discuss with my auntie, there is no that room.
And also, generally speaking, I think also the money factor has made our society become so polluted and also very divided.
Sure.
You find because so and so is rich and you are poor, they never even want the children to interact. And so the world has become a global village where these kids are going to get comfort from the gadgets.
True.
You get. And with the experience maybe from high school, right now with campus, with the consultations that you've done, even in real life, why do you think it is important to be aware of yourself, Kwanza, in this day and time?
Niju, there is a lot going on. Kwanza, in this generation, there is a lot. yenye kama ujijui, then you'll become a past tense. Because with social media, with the peer pressure, with vitu zenye zinaenda haraka haraka, you find to like forget yourself or not even know yourself because of these many changes and that huwa zinakuja. So I think knowing yourself will, like you being you and not like trying to ape people, another person, will put you there for a long time than wewe kufuata first peer pressure. In high school, yes, we had these issues of lesbianism.
Yes.
And you might find mtu amejoin shule ako sawa, like ako tu a normal girl. But anakuja anashikana na a group of other girls. Yani wanaanza now being tomboys.
Yes.
Utapata I was
is it curiosity or being just adventurous?
Yes, it's curiosity, adventurous, and also wanting to identify with another group of people that you've never been. So you go there, you start doing your things differently. You start and remember, no, hii ni peer pressure. Hii haujatoka nayo home. It's not inherited because watu wengine we inherit. You find we had one mwenye the mother was one, na sasa yeye kuja mamake hakuwa na shida because alikuwa anasema anajua imetoka kwake. So you know that's a different story. But you find people wanting to experience certain things that's peer pressure yenye inakuja with the group and the environment you are in.
Actually, what you're saying is very important because I can remember there is a family that 2 years ago wrote on to me, and they were like, "Grandpa, by then I was doing some consultancy, and their daughter went to high school, and this high school, she was good on Form 1. So getting on Form 2, the girl withdraws completely, and she becomes silent. She ain't talking. She ain't doing anything at all. She just silent. Endo kaoge, and then anaoga. Kujo kule, anakula. You know, and she was such a bubbly girl because I'd met her when I think since she was a kid. And that's the parents. Is there something wrong? No. Ame alienda shule akanyamaza tu. Told them no. Coming, now I decided, I told them, let me sit down with her. So, you know, as you're growing as a girl, there are things, see the way you guys, your hygiene standards and ours are totally different. So I thought maybe you would dame and I feel uncomfortable. Maybe she doesn't know, and lack for a better word, the hygiene was not good. I see you girls carrying tissues to the toilet and everything. So I thought she's in a predicament. Or maybe the menses are, or she doesn't. And I thought it's pregnancy. There's so many things that were rushing. She was like, yeah, kwanza iko hapana. I'm very clear. Ya pili, menses akaambia, ai, hisi kitu ya kushtua. Ya tatu, it was kona boy. No. Ya nne, do you have a boyfriend who's trusting you? No. Later on, she told me, if I tell you, will you tell my parents? I told her no. But even if I do, I'll stand by you. And I'll say to you, you're near me. You know what she said? Uko shule, kuna wasichana usiku wananiguzanga by force. The mother got shocked. For a whole 2 terms, she never knew. And akaanza kuingia punishment. Kwa nini? She's fighting back. So what you're saying is very important. Wazazi huko nje lazima waangalie. And why do you think such happen? What do you think goes to these girls who start such movement in sports? Or boys who decide to become gays?
In high school, vitu mobs will happen. You'll find they want to be celebs in school, and that's one of the best ways to be known, especially in high schools.
Were you in boarding or day school?
Boarding.
Mhm.
So you find they would meet wee hours of the night, and kuna mawochi wenye wangewajua, and they used to like be reported. So unapata mtu anataka tu is that enjoying life. Kuna wengine could really not like contain themselves. Unajua kuna watu that time in tulikuwa tunakaa shule was like so long for them, and they resort to having someone who would please them sexually. So they end up finding a partner in school. They even don't care kama they're in the same gender, but they are enjoying themselves. Kuna others who are just forced, because you find umeshaingia form 1, they notice you, they start writing letters, putting letters under your pillow. You go read. And for me, if you know yourself and you don't want to like have anything associated to them, and they're like big people in school, so you find they'll be there spying on you, threatening you, especially if you're a form 1.
What kind of threats?
Wanakubuli. They take your mattress, wanatupa, wanakumwagilia maji, they destroy your things. You know, you're just a form 1. You even don't have that power to speak against a form 4. So you either cooperate or your life in school will be miserable. So you find kuna wengine wenye watakubali hizi vitu zote just for the sake of them being safe. And that's where we encourage people to talk. You know, it becomes easy.
Thank you. You encourage people to talk.
Yeah.
How?
You know, for if I'm being forced and enyewe sitaki hizo story, I'll find someone that I'm super comfortable in. We had a very good cat race. You can go talk to the watchman mwenye atakusaidia to talk to the administration, or you can also find a good friend, a friend you can trust, because we're also living in a world that it becomes easy to share your thoughts with someone because people are not genuine as they used to be.
Yes.
So you can find a staff, does not need to be necessarily a teacher, who you can share whatever you're going through, because 4 years are a lot. And if you start being bullied at form 1 in that kind of way, then you're just exposing yourself to this time you'll be in school is going to be like super hectic for you.
So can we say also self-aware? So let me ask you, say self-awareness now, having that I've known myself is also a state of mind, which can be mutated in either form or way. Now, let's talk to a parent who has a son or daughter. And I was being told, you can remember our common friend Anifa, the one for young mothers.
Okay.
So we went to a forum and we were told by the girls there that nowadays people have sexual intercourse from the class of even class 6 and 7. How does a parent who have a girl and a boy help them understand? You see, us, time ilikuwa hata kuguza hivi Quinter ameshapata mimba. No, that was the narrative, eh? Nowadays they don't give a damn what was you're saying, eh? How do the parents now empower their own children in there?
That's a very interesting topic because it's true. Teenage pregnancies imeongezeka kabisa.
Yes.
And I feel it's parents also have a role to play in this. You find a parent atadhani mtoto nitaanza kumfunza hizi vitu akishashika ID. And they don't know that this is a person mwenye alishaanza hizi vitu kitambo. But because parents are not engaging with us, they're not talking to us, then we decide to do our own things without their consent. So for me, I may say sex education haina age. Ianze kufunzwa from as hata from class 3. Mtoto aanze
I have a question, Quinter. I have a son. How do I start even talking to him about sex?
It will help him. Hata tu niseme itakusaidia na itamsaidia.
How do we start this conversation?
It's your...
Ama ni venye tu mother alikuwa anakuuliza, Quinter, kwani ulitangi marafiki? Namwambia simeleta kina Shiro, kina Sheila nani, anakwambia kwani ni wasichana tu? Do you think that can work in today's world?
Yes, it can work.
For real?
Yes. Because at least kitambo, hizi vitu hazikuwa zinaanza as early as zina happen sai.
Yes.
We know what's going on. In class 4, naweza sema, or even class 3, a girl knows what's going on in her body. You find kuna dem anaweza anza kuwa like sexually active from your class 3. From class 4. And if a parent does not sit her down and take through how you should handle this, what to do, how to control yourself and such like stuff, then it becomes hard for the girl. Akiona a parent ameka your roadblock, we are not talking about this. That's it. Me, just let me do my own things if we cannot talk about it. So
simply you're saying is the more we tamper with our mode of living, like that space we tamper around with the awareness stage, the more crises you're going to build.
Sure.
And that's why, in fact, there's a lady I was speaking to, and she's a Gen Z, and she was telling me, Grandpa, you people don't understand. And I told her, I would want to understand you. And I was like, I just asked her, do you know yourself? And the way you're saying, she's not grounded on anything. There's no culture. There is no authority of hierarchy of respect. I go, Z. And I was like, and when I spoke to this way in our boss's office, I told her, the way you address the boss, she's not your age mate. You need her more than, she's like a partner. And I was like, do you know why, first of all, you're here? So I can imagine the strength or the magnitude awareness comes in introduced vitu mingi sana. And maybe from where you sit, do you think our current day and age men understand who they are?
I may not say they really do. Because a lot of things are happening.
Yes.
You have personal issues.
Yes.
You have relationship issues. Zako we mwenyewe. Family iko hapo. You tend to forget yourself. That's where to maybe as a coping mechanism, you may resort to do other things zenye zitakutoa kwa those how to deal with those crises zenye uko nazo for you to forget yourself kidogo. Because they might have a lot on their plate yenye huwa anatakanga to forget something for a period of time so that wasi deal na whatever they deal with.
Let's go for a break because there's something umesema that we create our own coping mechanism just to forget ourselves. Let's go for a break, come back. This is a coffee talk with Heidi Grandpa and the amazing
Quinter.
Hey, good people, welcome back to the Coffee Talk with Heidi Grandpa and the amazing
Quinter.
It's something that you said. Nowadays, I've realized a lot of men are drinking. Drinking, not because they want, it's because they are fighting themselves a lot. Carry on.
So when someone resorts to finding a coping mechanism, which mostly people resort to alcohol and drug and substance use. So with that, there is that pleasure that comes with taking that alcohol or smoking bang and such like stuff. So with that, it's people say huwa anakuwa high. And it comes with a very nice feeling in you are not you. You feel you are somewhere else where you don't have to worry about the many issues you are dealing with ukiwa sober. So you find mtu atasemanga, if this alcohol gives me this kind of feeling, which is so different with the many problems niko nazo, family, personal issues, atasemanga, I want to kuanga nikifeel hivi. I want to be feeling this way. Hata kama ni daily, because if it's something that brings you that joy and pleasure, you'll go for it.
Yeah, sure.
That's why alcohol use sai people are drinking. Watu wanakunywa sana because wako na vitu mob zenye zinawasumbua.
Also, coming from your angle, I have found that women are also saying we want a man who understands himself. What are you saying? What are girls saying?
Understanding yourself. It's true, because enyewe as Quinter, I'll not want mtu mwenye does not have a sense of direction kwanza. That's one thing a woman always looks for. If you find that, okay, having fun is not bad, but if that is the order of the day and you're a man, then really, I may not want to get associated with this kind of person. I want someone mwenye anajua where life is going, is headed. Someone who will be able to direct me. But if you find this man who wants to hide or wants to be behind you, ati I'm the one to lead the way, then it becomes hectic. And no, yes, I don't know, but I feel that men were made to lead.
Let me ask you. I've also realized that the Gen Z are preferably, actually, the ages between 26 going downwards, they are preferring to date men who are 10 or 15 years age difference. And I actually thought, wait a minute, I started calculating the years, the differential years between my grandfather and my grandmother. They were between 10 and 15. My father and mother, it was actually 10. And some people in the family, I'm like, have this generation understood something that we millennials missed?
Yes.
Yes.
For me, speaking now as a Gen Z, there is something about men or boys who are older than you, na maybe 2, 3, 5 years, or even you dating say your age mate. I happen say, because I also want to throw it kwa our male counterparts. Unaweza pata, for me I am 21. A man maybe up from 20 to 25. This is someone when it's very hard to find a boy between that age bracket who wants something serious. Yeah, kwa hapo kujibamba. And for them, they concentrate sana on sexual pleasure. Yenye they want to okay, maybe you want to adventure or you want to experience a lot of things before, because ujana ni moshi. You want to do a lot of things with this time you have. You find they're everywhere and with everybody. So we have known that already, and for us, they're very immature.
Yes.
they are people who, one, they don't have sense of direction. And or to sherehe is always the order of the day. They are unadhani umempenda nini anakupenda, kumbe he's just playing with your heart. And which is different for older people. When you with that age bracket, you're 10 to 15, these are people who they know already what they want in life. There are people who are mature and kuna yani wamepita hiyo umri ya
the joking stage.
The joking stage, hizi vitu zote, they have seen them, so
they've done all the monkey business.
Sure.
And so you want to say, from what you're saying, is from where Quinter sits, at your age, you're progressively thinking, it's a natural way of women thinking of progression in life.
It's believed that, and research has it, women tend to like think fast than men. So unaweza pata, I am 21, but the way I think, ni maybe for a lady, now that's the IQ, ni I think like a 28-year-old lady. So with me going for someone who is younger sabotages me, because we see ahead kabisa, yenye nikirudi ni chukue my age mate, itakani as if I'll be thinking quickly than your age yenye hapo. So
and then let me ask you now, that means if Quinter decides to date someone else and they're not fully aware again of themselves, wanajirudisha nyuma, and that's where now the crisis now starts.
Yes, because by that time it's either you choose not to be self-aware, because as a lady akili zetu zinaenda haraka. So you find maybe kuna kitu you encounter that makes you be with someone who is younger, and at that time you find yourself reducing yourself to think as this man, na unajua yeye bado hivyo ndo vile anafikiria, hivyo ndo anafikiria at that slow pace and at that age yako, enjoying things, kutaka experience hizi vitu zote. So crisis huanza hapo, because you reduce yourself to like IQ yake, you reduce, maybe you'll not like go for your goals, utakuwa hapo na yeye.
Man, it's amazing how we think we know, but truly we do not know. And also having that you spoke about the age and the way you brought it, do you think the older generation is giving us direction? Ama ndio watapoteza zaidi? Crisis.
I can't even say, because sai,
yes,
okay, let me judge from my father. I think he has done his best, because this is the first time he's living. He has never lived before.
Yes.
So he has done his best.
Yes.
But now as siblings, we always tell ourselves, maybe if we knew this early, then kuna vitu hazingefanyika. Now you find that maybe parents didn't also play that role in us being self-aware. True story, you don't have to have these talks. I think this generation is better, because they know, they have experienced it. Waliona what they went through maybe in their childhood, with these conversations hazikuwa zina take place in their families, and maybe waliona ili turn out into something which inaweza kuwa it was not that positive. So with them, they find the importance of having these talks, of having like their children to be self-aware in an early age, yenye haitafanya mtu apotoke.
Actually, usually this is what you usually say. Our fathers went the rough and pain of their fathers. Now our grandparents.
Yes.
Our grandparents went through the fire of their great grandparents. You get?
Yes.
As millennials, we went now through the roughness of the three. Now, this is we are yes people. Eh? Grandpa Fanny, yes. Whether I know how to read or I do not know, I'll do it. But I think you millennials, and that's why I think you're also taking government to accountability. You've seen what our fathers have, you've seen our grandfathers, you've seen our fathers, you've seen us, what we've gone through, and you're like, no, this nonsense has to stop.
True.
Or if you're doing things right, let them be do right. Because as I kept on wondering, for example, where is the debate of a man and a woman coming from? These are things that we knew from damn when you were a kid. You knew I'm a boy, and this is what makes you to look like a boy. Because when I sat down with one of these guys who progressed this conversation, I was like, you're a man. Do you ever have menstrual periods? He was like, no. I like, do you have there are those empathetic feelings that women have? No. I was like, your damn voice is more bass than mine. If it's a lady, ask them, do you go for circumcision? Do you go for this? Can you develop muscles? There are things that are made by a man to look men. She was like, no. So I was like, so what are you telling? So from your conversation, I think the family has lost its ways. We have lost our ways. The church, hata sijui sasa kwenye church iko. The church is completely lost. And I'm saying this because, and Sunday I had a conversation with a Catholic priest. And he was like, Grandpa, why don't you go to church? And I told him, for over 20 years now, I've never stepped to a church. And I was like, why? He wanted to know. He was very genuine. I was like, when I go to a church, before even the priest has spoke, hapo nje nimeambiwa kwanza kuna sadaka 3 zinatolewa. Then from there is the first reading the priest will go towards. I know the Catholic Bible. There's nowhere the sadaka they mention it. I was an altar boy. Then I was like, the things have changed. Because even the priests used to affirm us. You guys are men. Even when I can remember before the entry of the altar girls in the church, there was a revolution in our church. I said no. You get? So I think where you're coming from, we have to reset.
True.
Because the church priests, not only the Catholic priest, but I think all the church leaders need now to come and say, these are the tenets of our society. The Bible doesn't change. I saw Juicy, even the Pope was saying that we can give gayism a chance. I don't know, for some conversation. I wish he would come out and say, no, this is what I said. You know, with affirmity. But you find people don't want to speak these things because of being judged. Lastly, is there a way or test that can be done for one to know themselves?
Yes.
Yes.
There are practices that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start first with journaling. Journaling is a therapeutic way of starting your self-awareness journey. By journaling, you write your thoughts, how you feel. It's going to, like, when you're writing, it comes from within you.
Yes.
You write about how you felt today, what you did, and that's like you going through self-awareness. You can also, another way is by participating in mindfulness. With that, it's through meditation, you taking time to, like, your own time. Be yourself. You think how how can I say it? You go through your days, how your days went. imekuwaje, like with that unasema this is what I did, and once I did it, this is how I felt. It's all about you knowing how you deal with your emotions, your thoughts. And also you can also, it's a journey that if you want to like be self-aware, you start with small things that will kickstart that journey. Seek advice from other people. If you want to be a good public speaker, go take 3 people, speak, then waulize, what have you noticed? Where areas I need to like improve? What should I do to like, you know, because we can't see ourselves. And through that process, you'll be able to know this is how I talk, this is how I behave when I'm around people. And so you go talk to 3 or 4, you ask them, how did I do it? With that, you are making yourself to be more self-aware of yourself. And also, what else can you do? Practice empathy. With empathy, it means you putting yourself in another one's shoes. Ask yourself, how do this person feel? If they're going through something, if you empathize with them, then it's also another way of you being self-aware. Once I know how you feel, then it will be easier for me to know how I make you feel, or how I feel myself.
Now, having said that, Manze, it's been a great conversation, and I think next Sunday we shall be dealing with gender-based violence in relationships. I am sure wengi wetu tunaumia, ama unaumia ukiwa peke yako and your partner doesn't know. So we shall be speaking about next Sunday. But I want you to talk to your people, that mother, that church leader, that young boy, that young girl, who might not know themselves. Wambie kitu as your parting shot.
So today we were talking about being self-aware. It starts with you knowing yourself. Take your time to examine yourself completely and to know where you stand. To all the ladies, girls, children, may you not fall prey to peer pressure and to want to add to maybe to experience things that will sabotage your self-awareness. Be you, always be you. Ndio usifall prey to people, to temptations and zinakuja na age. To our parents, may you open those conversations with us. We need you to like put those conversations, ndio tusiumie, tusiende we start doing our own things, yet you are never there to talk to us.
And maybe if a parent will want to reach out to guide their daughters, their sons, maybe the church will want to sit down with you so that they can structure sober conversations. How can they reach you?
They can reach me in my socials. On my IG is Miss Quinter, Facebook Quinter Wino. Let's have these conversations.
Awesome. Great people, a time has come for us to have serious conversations. As the world is progressing, the more chaotic the human life is becoming. It's either we put our brains aside or totally don't want to think. The society has gone to chaos, and our church leaders, all they think about is money and money and money. Friends, it's time for us to touch base with the ground zero and take back our humanity. For that reason, good friends, thank you for always listening to our conversations. My name is The Grandpa, and you can always get me on Nash Sage on Facebook, and you can also get us on Younib TV Media on Facebook, and also you can check TV Younib Media YouTube. Till next time, keep safe and goodbye.
Yeah.